Okay, so on this video we're going to review how to write equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. So we're going to start out by using the formula y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You should have that in your notes on your blue sheet. You should probably have that memorized by now. Okay, so parallel lines have the same slope. So the slope of this line is -3/2 because it's the number next to the x. So I'm going to use the same slope because I'm trying to make my line parallel to it. This is my x1 and my y1. So now I'm ready to use this formula. I'm going to plug in numbers for the y1, the x1, and the m. So y minus a -1 is y plus 1. Then my m is -3/2. And then x minus x1, which is 4. So y plus 1 stays the same. Then I distribute through there. So -3/2 x. Then normally I would bring down my minus, but I have a negative out here, so it changes to plus. Then 4 divided by 2 is 2, and that answer times 3 is 6. So you take your big number, divided by the bottom, and times by the top. You could times by the top first and then divide by the bottom. I just like to divide first because it makes my number smaller. Then -1 minus 1, so y equals -3/2 x plus 5 is your answer. Now some of you might be using y equals mx plus b instead of this equation, and if you know how to do that and you're doing that, then that's fine. I just prefer this way. Okay, this one, when you go to find the slope, always write m equals and write down the slope that you're going to use. There's no number in front of the x, so you have to remember that that means a 1, okay? If it just says x, it means 1x, so I'm going to use the same slope, which is 1. And after I write that down, I like to just draw a line through that equation so that I don't use that -5 for anything. I don't need that equation for anything other than getting the slope. So now I'm ready. This is my x1 and y1. I'm ready to use my formula. So y minus 4 is equal to 1 times x minus a -3. And then 1 times anything is whatever the anything is. It doesn't change anything. So 1 times x is x, and 1 times 3 is 3. So that just stays x plus 3. And then my last step is to add 4 to both sides. So y equals x plus 7. So that's the equation of the line that goes through -3, 4 and is parallel to that line. Okay, so let's do a couple perpendicular. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite and reciprocal. That should be in your notes. If it's not, write it on your blue sheet, okay? So opposite means we're going to change the sign, and reciprocal means we're going to flip it over. So you find the slope of this line. Well, the slope of this line is 2, which is like 2/1. Whenever you have a whole number, put it over 1. So the slope that we're going to use is negative, because this is positive 2/1, so we're going to change it to negative, and we're going to flip it from 2/1 to 1/2. So we're going to use that, and now we're done with that equation. This is my x1, y1, so y minus 5, y minus y1 is equal to m, -1/2, times x minus x1, which is a -2. So minus a -2 is plus 2. So y minus 5 is equal to -1/2 x, and then 2 divided by 2 is 1. I change my plus to minus, and so I have a -1 there. Last step is to add 5 to both sides, so y is equal to -1/2 x plus 4. Remember, a -1 plus a positive 5 is a positive 4. Okay? So this one, the slope is -3/2, so I'm going to change it to positive 2/3. Remember to change both. You got to change the sign from negative to positive. Here we change it from positive to negative, and we're going to flip it over. 3/2 becomes 2/3. Now I'm done with that equation. This is x1, this is y1. Y minus y1, so plus 1, is equal to m. M is 2/3. X minus a -3, plus 3. Y plus 1 is 2/3 x, plus 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2, so 2. -1 minus 1, y is equal to 2/3 x plus 1. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of review and helps you with finishing your homework.